Okay. Hello, guys. Can you hear me now? Biswajit Singh, Rakesh, Ravikiran, Maman, Shiva, Sujata. I hope I'm audible now, guys. Yeah, Biswajit. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Right. Perfect. So let's just wait for 2 more minutes, guys, for the other people to join as well. And then we'll be starting the session. Until then, if you have any queries or if you have any questions before we start the session, you could please let me know.
So,
Yes, I
excuse
can
me,
hear
sir.
you.
Yeah. So, is this the same demo was on Sunday?
Yes, the same demo itself, guys.
Oh, okay. I have attended on Sunday, so I thought it would be some different or what.
No,
Okay.
it's the same demo, guys. A shorter version of that same demo. Again, we'll be starting the
Oh,
live classes, or for the course is going to start from Monday onwards. So just in case we're planning on joining the course, you can join from Monday. The first class will be on networking concepts.
okay. Thank you, sir.
Tomorrow as well, we'll have one last demo. So Thursday and Friday, today and tomorrow will be the last demo sessions, just in case if students have missed out the previous demos, they can join. That's one last chance for them. And then from Monday, we'll be starting the course itself. Yeah, okay. So just in case,
Okay.
guys, if there's anyone who has already attended this demo session, again, just a heads up, this is going to be the same demo. It's not going to be any different from the previous ones. Okay, this is just backup sessions or backup demos for people who could not join earlier. Okay,
Okay. Thank you, sir.
sure.
Sir, it means I can directly join on Monday because yesterday I was also present.
Yeah, sure, guys. Again, as I've mentioned, it's the same demo. It's not gonna be any different. So this is only for people who are completely new to it, who have not attended the previous demo sessions. So if you have already attended the demo session, guys, you can join back on Monday itself directly.
Okay, and the timing will be same at 8 p.m.
Same time, 8 o'clock in the night.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Okay, guys. So let's get started without any further ado. Before I get started, a quick formal introduction on my end. My name is Mohammed Shoaib. I'm a cybersecurity trainer certified from EC Council. EC Council is the leading organization for cybersecurity domain certifications. Okay, and one of the courses that it provides for people who are completely new to this domain is Certified Ethical Hacking version 11. This is the latest version of the course that is running at the moment, and this is a course designed in such a way for people who are completely new to this domain. So if you have no knowledge about what cybersecurity is or what hacking or ethical hacking is, this is the course to get started with. Okay. So before I proceed further, this is a common question that I usually ask all the students just to understand their perspective on this topic. So again, guys, let's keep the session a bit interactive and fun. So my first question to you is to understand what your perspective is on hacking. So again, not asking for exact definitive answers, guys, but just to understand your view on it. Okay, so whatever comes to your mind, please do let me know. In your terms, what do you think hacking is? Anyone? There's Biswajit, there's Maman, Rakesh, who else? Shafiuddin, Shiva.
Hello,
Yeah, Biswajit, I can hear you.
sir. Actually, according to me, hacking means to hack the information of organization or any
Okay.
systems.
Right, yeah, hacking information or getting access to the information of organization systems. That's a good answer, Biswajit. Anyone else, guys, who wants to add anything to that? That's a perfectly right answer. There's nothing wrong in it at all. Perfectly all right. Any other additions to that, guys? Anyone who wants to append anything to that answer? Okay, no worries. Shiva, you were about to say something? Your mic was unmuted for a while. Did you have an answer? Okay, no worries, guys. So let me just add on with Biswajit's answer. So if I had to define hacking on, depending on using on his words itself, hacking is nothing but the procedure of trying to gain access to information systems. Okay, now these information systems could be anything. They could be as small as a mobile phone to as big as a database or a web application server or cloud organization itself. Okay, and this gaining access to these devices is done without the permission and the consent of the person owning those systems. Okay, so the organization who owns those systems has no clue that someone is trying to gain access to their data. Okay, and this is usually performed by hackers for their own benefit. So once they get access to the data, they can steal it, they can destroy it, or sell it on the dark web to other third-party vendors. Now, if hacking seems such a malicious job, why do we have a course called ethical hacking? Is the second question. Because ethical is something which is completely legal. And how could hacking become legal now? That's the main question. So when we talk about ethical hacking, on the other hand, guys, this is the procedure of trying to find vulnerabilities. Okay. A vulnerability in simple terms can also be called as a weakness or a loophole in the information system. And using these weaknesses only, hackers try to get access to the target informations, target information systems data. Okay. So your job as an ethical hacker would be to find these vulnerabilities before a hacker does. And this is done with the consent and permission of the organization. So once you find these vulnerabilities, you have to report it back to the organization so that they can apply the patch for it. And once a patch is applied, you're thereby increasing the security of infrastructure and preventing hackers from causing any further harm. So with ethical hacking, you're trying to increase the security and make the infrastructure much more secure and stronger compared to what hacking is. Okay, where you're trying to exploit vulnerabilities. Okay, so are these two definitions clear, guys? Like what is hacking and what is ethical hacking, and how are they different from one another? Because most of the students have a misconception that both these terms are one and the same. No, guys, we're not going to be performing hacking. We'll be learning ethical hacking in the course. Okay, we won't be exploiting the vulnerabilities, but we'll see how to search for them, how to find them in an organization's systems, and how to report them back to the organization. Okay, so that we can prevent hacking from happening. Now, depending on these two terms, guys, we can categorize the different types of hackers as well. So we have someone known as a black hat hacker, then we have someone known as a white hat hacker, and in between there's someone known as a gray hat hacker. Okay, so firstly, the first category is black hat hackers. These people are also commonly referred to as cyber criminals. Okay, these are people who perform hacking for their own benefit, and they do this by asking no consent at all. On the other end of the spectrum, we have the white hat hackers, who are also termed as ethical hackers or penetration testers. Now, these people perform ethical hacking, or in simple terms, penetration testing, to find all the vulnerabilities in the organization. And they do this by asking for consent and by following all the laws and policies set by the organization. So they do not cross any line, they do not perform exploitation of any vulnerabilities, they only work to increase the security of the organization. Now, in between white hat hackers and black hat hackers, there's someone else known as a gray hat hacker. Now, as the name itself suggests, these people have both the qualities of black hat as well as a white hat hacker. Like a black hat hacker, they don't ask for permission before finding the vulnerabilities. But once they do, once they find the vulnerability, like a white hat hacker, they report it back to the organization. Okay, they don't take advantage of it, they don't exploit it and try to attack the system, but they report it back so that they can help the organization. But it's a give and take relationship, so it's a there's kind of a bargain over here. Okay, the catch is that these gray hat hackers ask for a bounty in return. Okay, a bounty is anything which benefits them, so they could ask for some prize reward, or they could ask for some reputational reward, anything which benefits their career and profile. Okay, and that is why in simple terms they are also known as bug bounty hunters. They find bugs in return for a bounty. Okay, so they are hunting for bugs. Okay, now all these three types of hackers, whether we take black hat hackers, gray hat hackers, or white hat hackers, they perform hacking or ethical hacking in a certain number of steps. Okay, and they follow a procedure, a systematic procedure. That systematic procedure is known in simple terms as hacking cycle or cyber kill chain. Okay, various organizations categorize these steps into various numbers, but if I had to summarize it up, there are 5 important steps in hacking cycle or cyber kill chain. Whether you take a black hat hacker or a white hat hacker or any kind of a hacker, he needs to follow the same procedures as well. Okay. Now let me list them out first, and then we'll discuss in detail about each of them, so you have a clear picture of what the whole course is about. Okay, so the first step is known as information gathering. It can sometimes also be referred to as reconnaissance or footprinting. So they are one and the same term, guys. Don't get confused. Various organizations use various terminologies. But whether you hear information gathering or reconnaissance or footprinting, all the three terms are one and the same. After that, you have scanning, which can also be referred to as enumeration. Then you have gaining access. Then you have maintaining access. And then finally, there's a reporting or clearing traces. Now, the reason why I've mentioned or over here in the last step in capitals is because to make it a note to understand that this is the only step where you have a difference between black hat hackers and white hat hackers. Now, whether you are any kind of a hacker, whether it be black, white, or gray, the first four procedures are to be followed mandatorily. So you have to follow those first four procedures in the same order. After that, in the end, what changes is the last thing that you do. Okay, if you're a white hat hacker, you would definitely report all the vulnerabilities that you have found with the remediations, with the solutions to remove those vulnerabilities. If you're a black hat hacker, definitely you're not going to be giving any solutions, and obviously you won't be reporting it, but you will try to remove all the evidences. So whatever harm you have caused, whatever data you have stolen, you might leave some footprints here and there. Okay, so that is why it's very necessary that you remove or clear those footprints so that you cannot be traced out and you stay anonymous. So that is known as clearing traces in simple terms. And in our course, we're learning both the perspectives, how we can generate a report and submit to the organization, or how hackers clear the traces and remove all the evidences. Okay, now let's briefly discuss about each of these one by one, guys, so you have a better idea on the whole course. But before that, any questions, guys, for anyone? Again, please feel free to interrupt me at any certain point. Do not hesitate to ask a question. Please let
Hello,
me know. Yeah, Biswajit, I can hear you.
sir, is this class is getting recorded?
Yeah, this will be recorded, definitely. Every single class that we take will be recorded and it will be uploaded to the Google Drive. So even once we
Sir,
start our course as well, the whole duration of the course, every single day we'll take a 1 hour class, and each class will be recorded and uploaded to the Google Drive. So that
okay,
just
sir.
in case if you're missing out, if you're absent for a session, you can access the recordings whenever you want to.
Okay, okay, sir. Actually, from the starting, you told about hacking and ethical hacking. So,
Mhm.
could you please briefly tell me? Hacking means like you're hacking the particular credence, some credential information, like something personal information you are hacking. But ethical hacking was that. Oh, I did not get it properly.
Good question. Again, Biswajit, when we talk about hacking, this is something that cyber criminals perform. Okay, hacking is where you're trying to get access to information devices. Okay, and using those information, what you do with that information defines what kind of hacking you do. Okay, so in ethical hacking, we are trying to understand how hackers are hacking that information. So what are the procedures are they following, and how are they actually finding that vulnerability, and how are they checking for those vulnerabilities on the systems? Okay, so
Okay,
we as ethical hackers try to find those same vulnerabilities that hackers use, and we try to rectify those vulnerabilities. We try to apply the patches for them. Okay, so just
that,
like
that,
how
that means
hackers do it, we are going to do it
that
in an
means
ethical manner. Yeah,
okay. That means, sir, if a hacker is trying to hack some particular information, and the ethical hackers are there to prevent that through their coding or whatever the algorithms. I think.
exactly. Again, in simpler terms, it's not about algorithms and stuff, but it's about the source code actually. Okay, so whatever it is known as a vulnerability. A vulnerability is a weakness or a misconfiguration of the system. So ethical hackers do the job of finding those vulnerabilities before a hacker can cause any harm. Okay, and once the vulnerability is found, they disclose it to the organization, and organization will remove that vulnerability so that your systems are secure.
Okay, okay, okay. Sir, then although you told about the black hat hackers,
Mhm.
red hat, and gray. So what are the
Mhm.
what are the job responsible of the three hackers?
Again, yeah, I'll be coming to that as well, Biswajit. So when we talk about ethical hackers, we have a certain few job roles that we can apply for. I'll be discussing that at the end of the class. Okay, until this part, any questions at all?
Okay, okay, hacking cycle. And you information gathering, scanning, in information. You will tell detail about this chapter, I think.
Right now, yeah, that's the main thing to do right now. I'll be doing that now.
Okay, okay, okay. Sir, you continue.
Sure. Right. Anyone else, guys, who has any other confusion or any issues with the clarity? Mamun, Shafiuddin, Shiva. Right. Okay. Now let's briefly discuss about each of these terms, guys, one by one, so that you have a better picture of what we are going to be discussing in the course as well. Okay. So the first step is information gathering. Okay, as the name itself says, information gathering is nothing but trying to gather as much data as possible about the target organization. So if we take a client, for example, Wipro.com, for the time being, we need to gather information about Wipro servers. Okay, now the main question is, what kind of information are we talking about over here? And this is the information as follows. Okay, so we try to gather information such as the IP addresses or the range of IPs used by the Wipro servers, then the whois records to understand who is hosting Wipro's website, and since when it has been hosted, when was it last updated, when will it expire, then the DNS records to understand what data is stored in the DNS servers, then employee details such as the contact numbers, email addresses, usernames and publicly leaked passwords, and domain names of the Wipro.com, subdomains of Wipro.com, and operating systems. So what OSs are they using in their organization? So if I give you a very basic example, I can just go to my browser, and in the browser I can search for a website called DNS Dumpster. This is a common website that I usually show in the demo sessions. So if I search for DNS Dumpster, I get the first link. Now this is an example of information gathering. So you're trying to gather information about Wipro.com from other third-party sources. So right now in this step, we are gaining information passively. What I mean by passively is that we are not contacting Wipro.com directly, but we're trying to gather information about Wipro.com from other third-party sources, such as DNS Dumpster. Now when I click on search, I can notice this gives me all the information about Wipro's DNS servers. Okay, so at the moment Wipro has 4 DNS servers with these host names and these exact public IPs. So these IP addresses are very important for a hacker or for an ethical hacker to proceed further in the further steps of hacking. Okay, after this information is given out, we can see the mail servers, we can see the DNS servers, we can see all the host records, which are nothing but the main servers of Wipro.com, the main domain name and the other subdomains, and their exact public IPs. Scroll down much further, and you can see the whole complete network topology. So this is how Wipro's servers are connected to one another. Okay, so these are all the servers of Wipro. Okay, the main domain and all the subdomains, and the mail servers also, mail or DNS servers. Okay, so this gives us complete information of all the endpoints that you have to test for complete security of Wipro. Okay, now this information is given out by Wipro itself. It needs to be given out. It is mandated so that people can access their services. Okay, what that is not the vulnerability, guys. Giving out the information is not the vulnerability, but not checking if each of these endpoints are secure or not is the vulnerability. So a pen tester or an ethical hacker needs to check for each and every endpoint and see to that on each of these servers there are no unnecessary ports running or unnecessary services running which are having vulnerabilities. Okay, so now next comes the scanning phase. So after you gather information like this about a target organization, then we go with the scanning phase. Okay, scanning is where we get some extra information by directly contacting the servers. Okay, so to gather more information by making active connections with the direct target. So in this phase we'll be using 3 types of scanning. There's network scanning, port scanning, and vulnerability scanning. In network scanning, we try to figure out on the target network, on the target organization, what all devices are being used. So if we take Wipro for example, in Wipro's company or in Wipro's office, what all devices are being used, what servers are they using, what firewalls are they using, what IDS, intrusion detection systems or intrusion prevention systems are they using, and what all services are they using, DNS, DHCP, and so on and so. Okay, once we know that, then we perform port scanning to figure out all the services as well and their version details. So if they're using DNS service, what version of DNS are they using? If they're using mail services, what mail services are they using and what versions are they? Okay, finally perform vulnerability scanning to find the weaknesses on those servers. So if there's any application with an inbuilt weakness, or if there are any misconfigurations like weak password or default unnecessary ports open, all that comes under vulnerabilities. So we scan for vulnerabilities by using some automated tools. Okay, so if I go to the browser now, I can show you one of the very important tools, which is Tenable Nessus. So this is the same tool that is used in organizations, guys. As you can see over here, quite an expensive tool as well. If you click on buy, you can see it's around $4,000 or so for 1 year subscription, and we shall be using the same tool in our lab setup in our classes. So let me show you how the tool looks like. Admin password, yes. So again, default password, default credentials, policies, scan templates. So this is how your Nessus tool looks like, guys. So this is capable of performing your network scan or port scan or vulnerability scan and gives you the list of vulnerabilities. So once you perform a scan, it shows you in your network whatever devices are there, what vulnerabilities are there on those devices. So it categorizes the weaknesses on the system in 5 levels: information, low, medium, high, and critical. So if a company has any critical vulnerabilities, it means hackers can easily get access to their servers. Okay, so we'll understand how to perform vulnerability scanning, how to know if a system has any vulnerabilities, and if hackers can hack their organization so easily. Okay, if they can hack, how do we provide the solutions is also what we learn. Okay, after scanning is done, then we go with the next phase, which is gaining access. Now this is a huge concept, guys, covers a lot variety of topics, and these are the topics as follows. Before I proceed further, any questions or doubts up to this part, guys, in information gathering or scanning? Biswajit, Mamun, Shafiuddin, Shiva, please do not hesitate, guys. If you want me to repeat something, I will definitely do.
Sir,
I
sir,
hope. Yeah.
sir, please repeat that first part.
Which one?
Like before gaining access, you told us some gathering information. Like I understood that, but if their system in vulnerability in the system, so hackers are easily hack that system. So I understood somehow.
Oh yeah, in information gathering again, Biswajit, as I've mentioned, we try to gather information from other third-party websites. So there's websites like DNS Dumpster, Hunter.io. So from other third-party sites, we gather information about the target. After that, then we perform scanning. So we directly get access to target servers or whatever target it is, whether it is Wipro.com or so and so. Okay, and in their target organization, we perform the scanning to figure out in their network what devices have what vulnerabilities. So in my local network, I have scanned for 3 devices, and in each of these devices, I can see the weaknesses on each system. Okay, tells you what the weakness is. Okay, if there's an unsupported OS, what is the solution to remove that vulnerability, and what can be performed with that vulnerability. So this scanning tool gives you that up-to-date information. Okay, so this is all this all comes under automated vulnerability scanning. Okay, so this is something that you always perform in an organization to test for vulnerabilities on different systems.
Okay, it is software.
Yeah, it is a software. This is the Nessus tool. The Nessus tool is nothing but a software that we have.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Right, so this is the same tool that is used, the same software that is used in organizations as well. Okay, and we'll be running in real-time scenario. Whatever tools that are being used, we work on them in real time. Okay. So yeah, now proceeding further, after all this is done, then we go with the gaining access phase. This is where we try to perform various kinds of attacks to get access to the systems. Okay, once we perform the scanning, once we know that these are the vulnerabilities on which you can attack on, next part is nothing but to attack directly, which is nothing but penetration testing. So in this, as I've mentioned, there's a huge set of topics. Okay, so let me discuss them one by one. So first topic that I will be discussing is system hacking. So in system hacking, we learn how we can hack or crack or bypass a Windows operating system password. So whether it be Windows 7 or Windows 8 or Windows 10 or Windows 11, doesn't matter. How do we crack or how do we bypass the password is what we learn in system hacking. So if your system is password protected, how can you crack and understand what the password is in clear text? Or if you're unable to crack it, if it is too tough to crack, how can you bypass that password and still get access to the internal files is what we learn in system hacking. After that comes malware attacks. Malware is in simple terms are nothing but malicious softwares, and we'll practically know how to create each of these malwares. So people think that viruses are on the only malicious software available on internet, but that's a misconception. We have multiple malicious softwares. We have viruses, we have worms, trojans, backdoors, spyware, rootkit, whatnot. There's tons and tons of malwares, and there's thousands and thousands of malwares added every single day. So we'll practically learn how to create each of these malwares and how to prevent our system from getting attacked by these malwares, or how to detect for malwares on our system. Then comes network penetration testing. Okay, in network pen testing, we learn all the common network vulnerabilities. Okay, so in an organization, in a local network, there are multiple services. There's DNS service, telnet service, SMTP service, DHCP service. These are all the services or protocols used in a common organization. So we learn how to test for weaknesses on each of these servers. And after that, we'll also learn how to perform network attacks like sniffing attack, man-in-the-middle attack, DOS attacks, or hacking Wi-Fi routers and cracking Wi-Fi router passwords. All this comes under network pen testing. Then comes social engineering, where we learn how to crack passwords from websites. Okay, so how do hackers make fake login pages, Facebook page, Instagram page, or a Flipkart login page, bank login pages? How do hackers get your passwords from these pages? Okay, how can they create fake login pages and send them to the victims and perform phishing attacks? All this comes under social engineering. Then finally comes web application pen testing, where we learn all the common website weaknesses. Okay. Is this useful for SOC analyst role? Yeah, Shafiuddin. We'll be discussing a very basic tool called Splunk as well. That is very important for your SOC analysis role. Okay. SOC is nothing but Security Operations Center, guys, just in case if anyone is confused. Okay. In SOC job roles, we usually see how to monitor and detect threats. Okay. Threats are nothing but attacks. Okay. So for that, we'll be discussing a very basic tool, a very important tool actually, but the very common tool used in SOC, which is Splunk. So this course was helpful for that as well. Shafiuddin. Okay, now after that, coming back to our topic, guys, as I've mentioned, we'll be discussing web application vulnerabilities, where we learn all the common website weaknesses. Now again, this might sound a bit technical, guys, okay, but these are a few common weaknesses that exist, such as SQL injection, cross-site scripting, broken authentication, file upload vulnerability, and so on. So these are the weaknesses that hackers use to get access to the web server, okay, or the databases in the backend. Okay, after that, we have hacking mobile phones, where we learn how to hack or crack an Android application phone. Okay, so how do we use Trojan attacks and get access to the Android phone remotely? Okay, after this is done, then we have two small topics, which are maintaining access and reporting or clearing traces. So this is the most important concept, guys, gaining access. After that, we need to know how to maintain persistent connections. So how do hackers maintain a connection even if the system restarts? Okay, is what is known as maintaining persistent connections. After that, we have reporting or clearing traces, where we'll see how to generate a report and submit to the organization. Or if you're a black hat hacker, how do they remove all the evidences? How do they clear the traces? Okay. Now, since not everyone is from a technical background or might not be from a technical background, we will discuss a few prerequisites as well. Okay. So the course is designed in such a way where you don't have to learn anything separately from outside. So if this is in a way to even a 10th standard student to understand this course in a simple and sufficient manner. Okay, so before we dive into all the advanced concepts, we'll be discussing these 4 prerequisites or 4 to 5 prerequisites. So first we'll learn basically what ethical hacking is, or how is it different from hacking. Then we learn virtualization. Okay. The reason why we need to learn about virtualization is because we'll be using a tool called VMware. So as you can see on my desktop, this is my Windows 11 operating system, and on this I have my VMware application. Okay, this VMware allows me to run multiple operating systems on one single machine. Okay, so as you can see, I can run my Kali OS, I can run my Windows 7 OS, Ubuntu OS, and so on and so. Okay, the reason why we need virtualization is because we need to run something known as Kali Linux. This is a Linux operating system, guys. Okay, and this is very important for us because this comes pre-installed with all the penetration testing tools. Okay, for hacking tools or ethical hacking tools. As you can see over here, there's information gathering tools, there's web application testing tools, there's password attacking tools, Wi-Fi attacking tools, and so on. So these are the tools that specifically come only with Linux OS. Okay, they're not available in your Windows operating system. So that is why we need to know how to install this operating system and how to use this out. Okay, again, one good thing is this is completely free and open source. Anyone can download this operating system from the official website kali.org. Kali.org. Okay, so how to download this and how to install this is what we learn in the virtualization class. After that is done, then we will go with basic Linux and Windows commands. So as I've mentioned, Kali is a Linux OS. So we need to understand how to use a Linux operating system. What are the basic commands in Linux and how is it different from Windows operating system? After that, we learn basic Windows server configuration, how to configure a DNS server, how to configure a web server in Linux, in Windows OS. Okay, and after all that is done, then we go with the important concepts. Okay, information gathering, scanning, enumeration, then gaining access, maintaining access, all that comes after that. Okay, so until these concepts are done, then you'll be ready for all the advanced concepts. So this is designed in such a way where you don't have to learn anything separately from anywhere else. Okay, so after that, again, there's a few bonus concepts as well, guys, such as cryptography, reverse engineering, IoT, cloud security, Splunk, So these are not included in other institutes. Okay, these are a few concepts that we have specifically designed in such a way so that you can proceed further and learn advanced courses as well if you're interested. Okay. So yeah, that's that, guys. Again, one last thing, the whole course is for a duration of 1 month, where you'll have classes from Monday to Friday every day for 1 hour. Okay, and every class will be recorded and it will be uploaded to Google Drive. So just in case if you're missing out any classes, you can access the recordings as well. Okay, so yeah, that's that, guys. Any questions on your end? Yeah, Biswajit, you were asking me one question, asking about the job roles, I guess. So once you're done with the course, you can start applying for job roles like SOC analyst, vulnerability assessment tester, or penetration tester, or again, security engineer, and so and so. Okay, so these are the job roles that you can apply for once you're done with the course.
Actually, I have taken this course on. I was just learning this course just to get a job in that ethical hacking, like information security, and in any IT company. So actually, sir, as I came to know that, sir, is there any like coding algorithm required to just like to do such kind of activity in
Good
ethical
question.
hacking?
Great question. This is a very common question that is frequently asked by students, that do we need any coding knowledge required for this course? Definitely not. So, sir, in CEH we will be discussing again. We will be primarily focusing on Linux operating systems. So we need to know how to use a Linux OS properly. Okay, so that is the only requirement which we will be learning throughout the course. Okay. Other than that, you do not require any coding level language knowledge at all. Okay, so coding or development knowledge is not at all necessary. Wherever it is, we will be discussing that basic necessity of it. Okay, so there are certain topics where we have a topic called malwares. So in this we learn how to create malwares. Okay, so in that one topic will require basic coding language knowledge, but again, that itself I will myself be teaching it. Okay, so you don't need to learn anything separately from anywhere else. And other than that, this one topic malware, we won't be using coding language at all anywhere.
Mhm. So Ajay, so actually I am doing job in Linux support, like technical support.
That's great. This is going to be a lot easier for you then.
Mm. So actually that's why I want to change my career, change my like next job into information security on the doing ethical hacking courses. Yes, I one more thing that, sir, is there is it necessary to get the certification on ethical hacking, like you have done something
Right. Again, it gives an edge, Biswajit. It's better to have a certification. If you're not going with certification, I would recommend you learn a few extra courses as well. Okay. After certified ethical hacking is done, then go with one advanced course, one specialization course like network security or web application security or so and so. So that will add you some much more value to your certification. Okay. So into your resume actually. Okay. So it's better to have certification. But if you're not having certification, just to increase or broaden your skill set, learn an extra course after CH in cybersecurity itself. Okay, there's many streams. Okay, we provide web application security as well, testing. So you can join this course as well, just in case if you're not doing a certification. Okay.
Okay. So after that, web application security is another course.
Yes.
Okay. So in this course syllabus, sir, what we will learn totally overall, what we learn, how much we can work in a company.
Again, as I've mentioned, CH is the foundational course, so you'll be learning about all the endpoints. So you won't be focusing on one of them, but all the comprehensively all endpoints. So we'll learn network security also, we'll learn wireless security also, we'll learn Windows and Linux hacking also, we'll learn Android security also, and we'll learn web application security also. But in CH, one thing is you are going to be like a master of, jack of all trades, master of none. So you're not going in deep, you're not specializing in any one of the fields, you're learning about all the fields. After that, you can choose one specialization and you can focus on that. You can either go towards web security or cloud security or network security. Depends on your interest.
Okay. Understood, sir.
Right.
Then that will the final and long term career.
Long term, yes. Okay. To get started first, usually in cybersecurity, you usually get monitoring job roles for a few months. Okay. After that,
Okay.
then you can go into deeper course. Mamun, are you going to teach all security courses? Yeah, I'm the same tutor, Mamun. So after CEs is done, if you're planning on going with cloud security or web application security, we provide those as well. At the moment, mobile and network is not included, but just in case, since there's a huge boom, there's a huge requirement for web application. So that also I provide.
Okay. Okay, sir.
You can go with 1 year experience, Shafiuddin, not more than that with CEH. But if you like add a few more courses after that, like after CH, if you do web application and also, you can add a couple years experience, like 2 or 3 years of experience as well. Okay, because you need to know more tools with such years, which that huge years of experience. They will ask you what tools you have worked on. Okay, so it's better you have a few knowledge on those tools. So with more the courses, you get more experience with different tools.
Okay, sir. So will you please help with practically all the things?
Again, the whole course. Oh, is it back-to-back training? Yeah, Mahmood. Again, after the CH is done, I usually take separate classes for web application students as well who are interested to join that. Okay, so that will be a back-to-back session directly. Again, yeah, coming back to you, Biswajit, you were asking me something. What was the question again? I forgot.
No, no. Actually, I was asking, sir. What, sir? Forget. Anyway.
I forgot as well. But let me try to recollect. Does anyone else remember, right, guys, what Biswajit was asking? Practical, yeah, good question. So again, the whole course is designed in such a way where it is 20-40 ratio, guys. So out of all the 60 minutes that we have every single day, the first 15 to 20 minutes will discuss the theoretical part. The remaining 40 minutes will discuss the practical part itself with real-time scenario examples. I'm not going to be boring you with theoretical knowledge. Only in the demo class and only in the first few introductory classes we'll discuss theoretical concepts. Once we start from the information gathering, everything is going to be completely practical based, okay, with tools
Sir,
that are used in real-time scenario.
are you teaching cloud security?
Yes, I teach cloud security as well, Biswajit. Okay, but again, as I've mentioned, that is usually taken up after CH is done. Okay, so we'll discuss on AWS security and again, mostly on AWS itself.
Actually, I wanna make my career into that like cloud security part. That's why I was thinking how much practical you will teach here and how much we can be skilled enough in this course, so that we can be confident enough while attending the interview. So, will you please discuss on about the some like mock interview questions and resume building?
Definitely, I will help you. I will send you sample resumes as well to understand how to create a resume for a cyber security profile. Okay, and along with that, I'll also share the commonly asked in interview questions. So I have a PDF document prepared for that specifically, which I share with all the students after the course is done for all the cyber security related interview questions. Okay, so I'll be sharing
Suppose.
all that as well.
Okay, sir. No, because I have planned after completion of this course, I have planned to move on cloud security by practicing those questions and all the practical things.
Definitely. Again, if necessary, I'll be sharing the resources as well, Biswajit, separately for you regarding your
Okay,
cloud security content. Okay. So
okay,
if you're planning on
okay,
doing a course after CS is done, then you can contact me for that. We can do that course separately.
okay, sir.
Okay, it's
Thank you.
not included with DurgaSoft at the moment, but again, yeah,
Mm. Okay, sir.
sure. Any other questions, guys, at the moment? Okay, assuming there's no questions, guys, I'll be ending the session over here. And yeah, that was great interacting with you guys all, Biswajit, especially with you because you have asked a lot of questions. So I hope everything is clear and you have no more unresolved queries.
Okay,
And
now
yeah,
I understood. I will follow that like recording also. If I got any doubts and demo sessions, I will ask you in the next class.
definitely, sure, definitely. Again, guys, if necessary, here's my contact number as well, 76800697768. If you have any technical queries, you can contact me over here. If you have any queries, what other technology we should know? Again, Maman, as I've mentioned, it's better to have Linux knowledge, Linux commands knowledge, and how to use a Linux operating system, and basic networking knowledge. What are IP addresses, what are IPv4, what are IPv6 addresses. If you do not know these also, as I've mentioned, all these are included in the course itself. So these are the prerequisites which are required. But again, I have included them in the course just in case if you're not familiar with them. Okay. So there's no prerequisite for joining the course. All you need is a good laptop to run the practicals. Okay. Minimum requirement would be at least an i3 processor, oldest to oldest i3 processor, and minimum to minimum 6 GB or 4 GB RAM. If you have 8 GB, that is recommendable. Okay. Recommended. But if you have minimum 4, it might hang a bit, but it will work. Okay, So one important requirement is you need a laptop or a device for practicing, because we have a lot of practicals in the course. Okay. So other than that, nothing else is required. Okay. Just interested mindset and a device to practice on. Those are the only two requirements for this course. Nothing more.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, that's it, guys. Nothing further for the session today. If you're interested to join the course, you can join this from Monday. We'll be having the first class on Monday for networking concepts. Okay. And after that, yeah, tomorrow as well, there's another demo session. So just in case if anyone is planning to join the demo again, you can join it tomorrow at the same time. If not, we'll be starting the course from Monday itself directly.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, guys. Good day. Thank you for joining the session. It was great interacting with you. And I'll see you soon, guys. Bye-bye. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Thank you, guys. Good night.